What happens when love rewrites destiny? When the heart dares to defy fate itself? In chapters 21 through 25 of Wrong Love, Right Heart, Ira and Kale finally choose each other, risking everything to walk a path never meant to exist. But love, powerful as it may be, comes at a cost. In this chapter arc, we journey through forbidden magic, unraveling time, and the first cracks of a world built on ancient laws. Chapter 21, The Rewrite's Price. Inside the rewritten world, a palace unfamiliar. Ira gasped as her eyes opened to a sky dusted with lavender clouds. She lay on soft grass inside a walled garden she didn't recognize. Not the royal courtyard she remembered, not the cherry blossom grove where Kale once kissed her. This was altered. The book had brought her back. But not to her story. To its own. The castle, a new coronation. Crowds gathered, trumpets echoed, and there he was, Kale. Crowned now, dressed in royal white and silver. Standing beside the king as the newly declared heir of Arkalath. Not the jovial side character she had fallen for. Not the man who made her laugh under moons or tended her scraped knee with a smirk. But a prince, distant, composed, untouched by memory. Their first meeting, again. Ira managed to slip into the palace as a healer. She entered the hall where Kale stood surrounded by knights and advisors. Their eyes met. He paused, just for a heartbeat. Then, who are you? No spark, no flicker, no recognition, just cool curiosity. I'm Ira, she said softly. A physician, newly assigned. He tilted his head, then gave a polite smile. Ah, the one they sent from the South Territories. She stiffened. This Kale has never met me. The new world's rules. Ira soon realized this rewritten world was not the one she remembered. Serafina and Aaron were already married. Kale had no past feelings for Serafina. The jovial smile, the teasing charm, it was locked away. And Ira? She wasn't just a side character. She didn't exist at all. Not in this version. She had rewritten herself into a story that had no memory of her. And Kale was a blank slate. The garden at dusk. She found him again days later, standing where the stars touched the edge of the palace walls. I know this place, he murmured. Ira dared to hope. Do you remember? Kale shook his head. No, but when I'm here, it feels like I'm waiting for someone. Her throat tightened. He turned to her, gaze thoughtful. You look at me like you've known me forever. Ira smiled through the ache. Because I have. And then, quietly, she added, you once told me that even if you forgot, your heart would find me. He tilted his head. Did I? She nodded. Yes. He touched his chest softly, confused, but intrigued. Chapter 22, A Heart That Remembers Without Knowing. Royal Garden, early morning. The morning dew clung to the grass as Ira walked beside Kale through the palace gardens. Their paths had started to cross more often, his curiosity about her growing. Her presence calming him in ways he couldn't explain. I keep dreaming of stars falling, Kale said quietly. And someone, calling my name. Ira's fingers tightened around the herb pouch in her hand. Maybe your soul remembers what your mind doesn't. He gave her a sideways glance. You speak like a poet. I was a doctor, she replied. Then caught herself. I mean, I am a healer. Kale chuckled. Strange, you don't seem like you're from this world at all. I'm not, she wanted to say. But I came back for you. The moment under moonlight. That night, the royal court held a celestial viewing ball. It was tradition to celebrate the night of the falling veil, when the sky shimmered with stars like drifting fireflies. Kale, dressed in silver and black, stood beneath the arched balcony, wine untouched in hand. His eyes were lifted skyward. Ira stepped beside him, her healer's robes replaced with a midnight blue dress the palace maids had insisted she wear. You never told me your favorite star, he said softly, surprising her. I like the ones that burn quick, she said. The ones that fall. He turned, searching her face. Because they never stay? No, she whispered, because they shine the brightest before they go. Their eyes locked. A breath passed. The music below slowed, hushed. Kale reached for her hand. May I have this dance, healer Ira? She swallowed her heart and nodded. Always. In his arms again. As they danced, time folded. He moved with the same grace. Held her with the same unspoken tenderness. No memory, but the feeling, undeniable. He looked down at her. I don't know why, but I feel like I've loved you before. Tears welled up. You have. The first crack in the rewrite. That night, after the ball, Kale couldn't sleep. He stood by the mirror. And for a split second, he saw it. The ring, on her finger, the silver one he'd once given her, though he didn't know how or why he knew. And behind her, in the reflection, two worlds. Overlapping. His heart raced. What are you hiding from me, Ira? Chapter 23, The Mirror's Secret. The palace hallways, midnight. Kale couldn't shake the feeling that something was off. The mirror had shown him a fleeting image, her ring on her finger, his reflection beside her, just like in the world he'd forgotten. It was enough to make him question everything. What is happening to me? He wandered the palace halls, his footsteps echoing in the silence. Ira had fallen asleep in her quarters, and the weight of the day's events hung heavily on his mind. As he passed by the royal library, something caught his attention. The door, slightly ajar. Without thinking, he pushed it open. The hidden library. Inside, dust hung thick in the air. Bookshelves stretched from floor to ceiling, their spines yellowed and forgotten. But it wasn't the books that called to him, it was the large, ornate mirror at the far end of the room. It was framed in gold, intricate patterns swirling around the edges. But what made it strange was the way the surface shimmered, like it was alive. Not just a mirror, a portal. Kale's hand trembled as he reached for it, the silver ring still clutched in his palm. He held it up to the mirror's surface. For a brief moment, nothing happened. Then, his reflection flickered. A forgotten world. The image in the mirror shifted. Instead of seeing his current self, Kale saw another version, one in royal armor. Standing with a woman in a flowing dress. A woman with eyes he knew all too well. Ira. His chest tightened. In the reflection, they were together, laughing, in love, in a life that felt real. Kale, a voice whispered from behind him. He turned, startled. Ira stood at the doorway, her eyes wide with concern. What are you doing here? Kale couldn't take his eyes off the mirror. This is our world. But it's not supposed to be. Ira stepped forward, her hand gently resting on his arm. Kale, you're remembering things. And it's all because of the book. The one we rewrote. He shook his head. I didn't know it would go this far. I thought I could just feel it, but it's more than memories. It's another life. Ira's eyes softened, her fingers brushing against his cheek. It's the story that called you back. It's rewriting itself. And I'm losing myself, he murmured. Ira, what's the truth? Why does it feel like this isn't just another world? Why does it feel like I'm leaving behind something I can't remember? The mirror's revelation. The mirror flickered again, this time showing a scene Kale didn't recognize. A battle, a kingdom in ruin, and a man, a prince, standing at the edge of a cliff, his face twisted in sorrow. It was him, but not this him, a version that had chosen differently, that had fought for someone else. This is wrong, Kale whispered. I didn't do this. Ira's hand tightened on his arm. You didn't, but the world we're in now wasn't meant to be. Kale, you've crossed the line between two realities. And in doing so, you're both rewriting and losing parts of yourself. The choice that awaits. Kale stepped back from the mirror, his heart heavy with confusion and pain. You said before that you loved me, Ira said softly. But in this world, I don't know if we were ever meant to be. Kale turned toward her, the weight of his words catching in his throat. But I remember you, I feel you, Ira. And I don't care if I'm not supposed to be with you in this world. You are the one I want. Ira's breath caught. But Kale, you're not the same person you were. You're different now. Maybe, he whispered. But that doesn't mean it's wrong. She stared at him, a mix of fear and hope in her eyes. What if fate isn't about remembering? What if it's about choosing? Chapter 24, Choosing the Unwritten Path. The Royal Garden, Dawn. The sun had barely risen when Ira and Kale stood together. The garden bathed in the soft light of early morning. The air felt heavy, like it knew what was coming. Kale's hand brushed hers, and for a moment, everything felt like it had always been. Ira looked at him, her eyes searching his face for the man she knew, the man she had come to love. You're different now, she said quietly. But it's still you, Kale. I can feel it. I just don't know how much longer I can fight fate. Kale's expression was solemn, his jaw tight. I've been fighting it all my life. Ira, but I don't want to fight anymore. I want to choose. She swallowed the lump in her throat, her heart pounding. And what if we're making the wrong choice? Then we'll make it together, he said, his voice steady. This isn't just about fate, Ira. It's about us, about the love we've chosen. The unraveling world. As they spoke, the air around them shimmered, as if the very world was responding to their words. The trees rustled uneasily, and the distant sounds of the castle seemed to fade into silence. Ira felt it first, a pull in her chest, like gravity was shifting. She reached out for Kale's hand instinctively, but the pull grew stronger. Kale's eyes widened. Ira, what's happening? Before she could respond, a swirling light erupted from the ground beneath their feet. It enveloped them both, lifting them off the ground. The world around them blurred as if they were being pulled into another dimension, another reality. Kale, Ira cried, her voice barely audible over the roaring wind. He held on to her tightly, his grip firm but gentle. Stay with me, Ira. We're not losing each other again. The rift between worlds. They tumbled through a void of stars and endless black, weightless and adrift in time and space. The feeling was both disorienting and exhilarating. Ira could feel the pull of something deeper, something primal, something that had always been. Finally, the light faded, and they crashed into the soft grass once again. But this place was unfamiliar, more ethereal, more fragmented. It was as if they had stepped into a world that wasn't fully formed yet, suspended between realities. What is this place? Ira whispered, her voice trembling. Kale scanned their surroundings, his eyes narrowing as he took in the fractured landscape. Half of the sky was bright, with clouds shaped like torn pages, while the other half was dark, consumed by swirling shadows. This is the place between worlds, Kale said, his voice low. Where fate and free will meet. Where everything and nothing exist at once. Ira shivered. Then this is where we make the choice. Where we decide what happens next. The moment of truth. As they stood there, a figure appeared before them, a woman cloaked in a flowing silver gown, her face hidden beneath a veil of mist. I am the keeper, the woman said in a voice that resonated with the very air around them. You have come to the place of choice. Kale stepped forward, his expression unwavering. We don't want fate to control us. We want to make our own choices. The keeper's eyes glimmered, though her face remained hidden. But what if the path you choose leads to ruin? What if you are meant to fall apart for the greater good? Ira clenched her fists, stepping beside Kale. If we fall together. But we'll make the choice ourselves. The keeper's voice softened. Then choose, but know this, every choice will have its consequence. You will rewrite your fate, but not without cost. Kale's gaze was unwavering. We're ready. The keeper raised her hand, and a vision appeared before them. A world, a future, that could be. In it, Kale and Ira stood together, hand in hand, their love unbroken. But shadows lurked at the edges, and the world trembled, uncertain. Is this what you want? The keeper asked. Ira hesitated for a moment, looking at Kale. He nodded, his expression full of resolve. Yes, Ira whispered. This is our choice, the consequence of choice. The keeper nodded solemnly. Then, your fates are sealed. The air around them shifted, the world quaking. The fractured sky began to solidify, the stars returning to their places, the land regrowing. But as the world around them reformed, something else changed, a shift in Kale's eyes. He looked at Ira with a strange mixture of love and sorrow. I don't understand, he murmured, as if waking from a long dream. I don't remember, but I know you. I know we chose this together. Ira smiled, tears slipping down her cheeks. We did, Kale. We chose each other. And we will keep choosing. He kissed her gently, the world around them settling into place. But in the back of Ira's mind, she heard the keeper's voice once more. Every choice has a consequence. And she wondered, what would be the cost of choosing love, when fate had always planned something else? Chapter 25, The Price of Love. The castle courtyard, morning. The sun shone brightly over the royal courtyard, its golden rays casting long shadows across the stone pathways. Kale stood beside Ira, his hand gently resting on hers as they observed the bustling life of the palace. The air was crisp, fresh, a sharp contrast to the heaviness that still lingered between them. It had been days since they had chosen to rewrite their fate. Since they had stepped into this new world, where the rules were no longer defined by the script of destiny. Yet, something felt off. Ira's heart ached as she caught a glimpse of Kale's face. He was different. The intensity in his eyes, the way he looked at her, it was as if he knew her, but didn't. As if he remembered their love, but couldn't fully grasp it. A quiet awakening. Kale. Ira's voice trembled as she reached for his hand, squeezing it softly. He turned to her, and for a moment, his eyes softened. Yes, do you feel different? Like everything we've chosen isn't the same as we thought it would be? Kale looked down at their joined hands, the weight of her words settling on him. I feel it, too. Like the world around us is shifting, as if we're not meant to be here. Ira bit her lip, her mind racing. Maybe the keeper was right. Maybe we chose something we weren't prepared for. No, Kale interrupted, his voice firm. We made this choice together. And no matter what happens, we'll face it together. The hidden consequence. Suddenly, a sharp cry pierced the air. A guard ran toward them, his face pale with fear. Your Highness, the guard exclaimed, bowing hastily. The royal heir, she's gone missing. Ira's heart skipped a beat. What do you mean, missing? The guard hesitated, glancing at Kale before speaking. It's as if she vanished. No trace, no sign, just gone. Kale's expression darkened. He looked at Ira, his voice barely above a whisper. This isn't just a coincidence. This is what happens when you disturb fate. Ira's stomach twisted. But we didn't mean to. We didn't want to hurt anyone. The guard spoke again, this time more urgently. The palace is in chaos. The entire kingdom is in an uproar. The ripple effect. Kale's mind raced. He turned to Ira, his jaw clenched. This is the consequence of our choice. When we decided to rewrite our fate, we didn't realize we would be rewriting more than just our story. We've disturbed the balance of the entire kingdom. Ira felt a deep pang of guilt. She had thought that by choosing Kale, by choosing love, they would be able to build a world of their own, a world where they could be together without the constraints of fate. But the consequences were unfolding before her eyes. Kale, she whispered, what do we do now? Kale took a deep breath, his mind struggling to grasp the weight of their decision. We fix this, together, the journey to find the heir. With a sense of urgency, Kale and Ira set out with the guards to search for the missing royal heir. The kingdom's future was uncertain, and their actions had set off a chain of events they couldn't predict. As they ventured deeper into the palace, they noticed that something was wrong, not just with the disappearance of the heir, but with the very fabric of reality. The walls of the castle seemed to tremble, and the air was thick with an energy they couldn't explain. This isn't just about one missing person, Ira said, her voice trembling. This is about everything we've altered. Kale nodded, his gaze far away. The world is rejecting us. We've chosen something that was never meant to be. The encounter with the oracle. In the deepest chambers of the palace, they found an old, forgotten room, a sanctuary that had once been the domain of an ancient oracle. The oracle was said to have the power to glimpse the future, to see beyond the veil of fate. The oracle, an elderly woman draped in flowing white robes, sat in the center of the room. Her eyes were closed, but when Kale and Ira entered, she opened them slowly, her gaze piercing through them. You've come, she said softly. I've been waiting for you. Ira stepped forward, her heart racing. We need your help. We've made a choice, and it's unraveling everything. The oracle nodded slowly, as if she had expected this. You've rewritten the threads of fate, but you cannot escape the consequences. Love cannot exist without balance. And you've tipped the scales. Kale's voice was low, his frustration growing. We just wanted to be together. The oracle's gaze softened. And yet, love alone cannot guide the world. Fate is more than just love, it is the harmony of all things. The heir's disappearance is only the beginning. The kingdom itself is beginning to fracture. Ira's heart sank. Then what do we do? Can we undo what we've done? The oracle's eyes sparkled with wisdom. There is a way, but it will cost you more than you are prepared for. You must choose again, not for love but for the greater good. The path forward. Ira and Kale stood in silence, the weight of the oracle's words sinking in. They had thought love would be enough. But now, they were facing the stark truth, that even their love was not immune to the balance of the world. Choose, the oracle said, her voice a whisper on the wind. But know this, The price of restoring balance may be the loss of everything you hold dear. Kale looked at Ira, his heart heavy with the burden of their choices. Ira, what are we willing to sacrifice? Ira stared at him, tears welling in her eyes. I don't know, but we have to try. We can't let the world fall apart. They chose love, but the world is changing. As the castle trembles and memories unravel, Ira and Kale must face the consequences of rewriting fate itself. What lies beyond the oracle's chamber? And what must they sacrifice to keep their hearts united? Chapter 26 will reveal whether love truly is stronger than destiny. If you're as enchanted as we are, don't forget to like, subscribe, and ring the bell, so you never miss a moment of this unfolding tale. This is the Velvet Story, where every heart has a voice. Until next time, keep dreaming.